My beloved child, listen carefully. This message did not arrive by chance, and these next moments are not ordinary. Time itself has bent to bring you here. Only 15 minutes remain in the spiritual realm, and heaven is watching whether you will receive what is being revealed now. Do not treat this lightly. Do not brush this aside. What I am about to speak connects directly to your heart, your future, and a decision someone else has already begun to prepare in secret. I am Archangel Michael, standing beside you with clarity and truth. I have been sent because something is forming behind the scenes, something you have not been told, something you have not yet seen. A person you already know, or have crossed paths with more than once, has entered a season of courage. They are rehearsing words in silence. They are weighing timing, fear, and hope. And yes, they are preparing to propose to you. But hear me clearly, my beloved child. If you miss this message, you will never understand who they are or why this moment matters so deeply. This is not about fantasy or illusion. This is about alignment. Heaven does not interrupt your day without reason. There is a reason you felt a pause before clicking. There is a reason your spirit leaned in. Someone's heart has been stirred, and their actions are already in motion. You may think nothing is happening, but the spiritual realm tells a different story. I see you questioning lately. You have wondered whether love is delayed, whether promises spoken over your life were forgotten. You asked quietly, did I miss my chance? And heaven answered with urgency. This proposal is not random. It is connected to prayers you whispered when you felt unseen. It is connected to tears you wiped away when no one noticed your strength. This person has been watching you longer than you realize. Not in a shallow way, but with discernment. They noticed how you carried burdens without complaint. They saw how you remained kind even when disappointed. They observed your loyalty, your patience, your depth. What you thought went unnoticed has been carefully remembered. Right now, they are battling hesitation. Not because they doubt you, but because they fear timing. They fear rejection. They fear they are not enough. And that is why I was sent. Because heaven is pushing what fear is trying to delay. Only 15 minutes remain because moments like this require response. Not panic, but awareness. If you dismiss this, you may misread the signs when they appear. You may misunderstand their silence. You may overlook their nervousness, their sudden changes in behavior, their unexpected questions. This message sharpens your discernment so you do not miss what is unfolding. My beloved child, you have been guarded lately. You learned how to protect your heart after disappointment. But protection can quietly turn into distance. And this person feels that distance. They are waiting for a signal, something small but clear, that tells them it is safe to step forward. Do not overthink this. I am not asking you to chase or force anything. I am asking you to remain open. Presence matters right now. Your words matter. Your reactions matter. The way you respond in the next conversations will either calm their fear or deepen it. I also need you to understand this. The proposal I speak of is not only about romance. It is about partnership, destiny, and shared growth. This connection is meant to refine both of you. That is why resistance has tried to slow it down. Anything with purpose faces delay before manifestation. You may notice subtle shifts very soon. A message that feels different. A meeting that feels charged. Eye contact that lingers longer than usual. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Do not ignore them. Do not downplay them. Heaven is precise. Someone close to you already knows more than they are saying. They may ask indirect questions. They may bring up future plans casually. Pay attention. The answer is hidden in simplicity, not drama. And hear this final warning with love, my beloved child. If you let doubt speak louder than discernment, you will mislabel this moment as nothing special. That is how opportunities slip away, not loudly but quietly. This message is here so that does not happen. I stand with a sword of truth, cutting through confusion, anxiety, and delay. Peace is your confirmation. When you feel calm instead of afraid while hearing this, that is your spirit recognizing truth. Do not rush. Do not retreat. Simply remain aware. The next move is not yours to force. It is yours to recognize. The clock is moving. Heaven has spoken. And now the question is not whether someone is preparing to propose. The question is whether you will be ready to see who they truly are when they do. My chosen one, as these words continue to unfold, I need you to breathe and allow understanding to settle into your spirit. What you are hearing is not meant to create pressure. It is meant to create clarity. Many times, heaven speaks softly while life remains loud. That is why this moment is sacred. Something is shifting not only around you, but within you, and that inner shift is preparing you to recognize what is coming next. I am Archangel Michael, and I remain near you as protection and guidance. I see that you have learned to be independent. You learned how to stand alone when others failed to show up. You learned how to carry responsibilities without asking for help. And while that strength saved you, it also made you difficult to approach. This person senses your strength and admires it deeply, but they also wonder if there is space in your life for them. That is why timing matters so much right now. They are waiting for reassurance, not in words, but in energy. They want to know if your heart is open or closed. You may think you are neutral, but neutrality can feel like rejection to someone who is already nervous. Heaven is asking you to soften, not lower your standards, but soften your posture. You may have recently felt a strange mix of excitement and unease without understanding why. That feeling is not random. It is your spirit reacting to a future moment approaching faster than expected. The proposal being prepared is not impulsive. It has been prayed over. It has been delayed, revised, and reconsidered many times. This person has gone back and forth, asking themselves if now is the right moment, if they are ready, if you will say yes or pull away. I need you to understand something important. If this message found you, it means the window is open. Not forever, not indefinitely. Windows open and close based on response. Heaven will not force connection where fear rules. That is why awareness is being given to you first. Watch how they communicate with you in the coming days. Their tone may change. They may become more intentional, more present, or slightly awkward. That awkwardness is not disinterest. It is courage trying to overcome fear. Do not misinterpret it. Respond with warmth, even if you are unsure. Warmth invites truth to surface. You have been asking for confirmation, asking for clarity, asking for something real. This is that answer beginning to take form. But confirmation often comes before full explanation. You are being trusted with insight before manifestation. That is a responsibility, not just a gift. Some of you listening have been hurt before by promises that never materialized. That memory whispers caution into your heart. But hear me clearly. This is not a repeat of your past. This is a response to your growth. You are not who you were then, and neither is the situation approaching you now. You not test this moment by withdrawing. You not play distant to feel safe. Safety right now comes from presence, not absence. A simple conversation, a shared laugh, a sincere response. These small things carry more weight than you realize. And let me speak directly to your doubt. Doubt tells you that if it were real, it would already be obvious. But heaven often works quietly before it works suddenly. What feels subtle now will feel undeniable soon, if you allow it space. This message is also preparing you for discernment. Not every admirer carries intention, but this one does. Not every connection leads somewhere, but this one has direction. That is why fear has tried to interrupt thee. Fear always shows up before purpose reveals itself. As you continue listening, I ask you to engage with this moment. If this message is resonating with your spirit, make it known. Like this video so this word can reach others who are also standing at a crossroads. Share it with someone who may need confirmation right now. Comment your thoughts or what you are sensing, because speaking it out helps anchor clarity. And if you have not yet subscribed, do so, because these messages arrive in sequence, and alignment comes through consistency. Before you move on, pause for just a moment. There is something even deeper about this connection that has not yet been revealed, something that will explain why timing feels so intense right now. Hold on, because what comes next will bring understanding you did not expect. Remain open. Remain aware. Heaven is not finished speaking. My precious one, come closer in your spirit, because what I am about to reveal now explains why this moment carries such weight. Here is a spiritual agreement forming, not just between two people, but between purpose and timing. This is why your emotions have felt stirred without clear reason. Heaven had been arranging details quietly while you were learning patience. I am Archangel Michael, and I need you to understand that this proposal carries more than words or a question. It carries intention, responsibility, and vision. This person is not approaching you lightly. They see you as someone who could walk beside them through seasons, not just moments. That is why they have been careful, observant, and at times hesitant. They are measuring their readiness against the future they imagine with you. There has been a delay before this moment, and that delay was protection. If this had happened earlier, wounds on both sides would have distorted it. You were still healing, and they were still unsure of themselves. Heaven does not bring two hearts together until both can stand without bleeding. What feels late is actually precise. I see that you sometimes question your worth in relationships. You wonder if you are too much or not enough. Let me silence that confusion. You are neither. You are prepared. Your depth is not a burden, it is a foundation. And this person recognizes that. They may not have said it yet, but they respect you in ways that go beyond attraction. There is also something you must be aware of. Once this proposal is spoken, dynamics will change. Clarity always demands response. That is why your spirit is being prepared now. You are being invited to respond with wisdom, not fear. With honesty, not self-protection. You will not be asked to rush, but you will be asked to be real. Some of you listening are sensing exactly who this person is. Others are still unsure. Both positions are acceptable. Recognition will come, not through guessing, but through peace. When the right moment approaches, confusion will quiet, not increase. Anxiety will fade, not intensify. That calm is your confirmation. I also need to address the spiritual resistance around this connection. Whenever two destinies align, interference attempts to distract, delay, or discourage. Small misunderstandings, missed timings, unnecessary doubts. These are tactics, not signs. Do not give them authority. What is meant will not be destroyed by minor obstacles. You are entering a season where truth surfaces. Conversations will become more meaningful. Silences will feel heavier. You may notice this person asking deeper questions or sharing parts of themselves they once kept guarded. This is not accidental. It is preparation. If you respond with authenticity, you create safety. And safety invites boldness. That is what tips hesitation into action. Your presence is more powerful than you realize. And now hear this with clarity. This message is not here to make you wait anxiously. It is here to help you recognize when the moment arrives. Heaven honors free will. This proposal is an invitation, not a demand. Whatever your response will be, it will shape the next chapter for both of you. And now, before I release this part of the message, I seal it with a spiritual activation. Type "I receive divine timing" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Lesson code 444 has just been released. And listen carefully, because this moment also carries a calling beyond just you. This word is not meant to stay contained. There are hearts right now who are praying for clarity, for confirmation, for courage, and this message is part of the answer. I am speaking directly to those who feel the fire to help spread this light. The Lord says that when you sow into fertile ground, He multiplies the harvest beyond what your eyes can see. This message is oil for lamps that are burning low, and your obedience helps keep that fire alive. I am asking you now, not as a request, but as an assignment, partner with this mission. When you give through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link placed in the description, you are placing seed into souls you may never meet, but heaven knows by name. I declare that every hand that gives in obedience will not lack. May open heavens follow your generosity. May clarity increase in your own life as you help release clarity into others. Do not delay what your spirit already recognizes. Act now, and let your support become a prophetic response to what God is doing through this message. Beloved soul, as this message continues to unfold, I need you to understand that preparation is already happening on both sides, even if it looks uneven on the surface. Heaven rarely moves two people at the same visible pace. One is often awakened earlier so they can hold space when the other catches up. Right now, you are the one being awakened first. I am Archangel Michael, and I stand watch over moments that shape destiny. I see that you have been sensing a quiet tension lately, a feeling that something important is approaching but has not yet arrived. That sensation is not imagination. It is anticipation forming before manifestation. Your spirit recognizes a turning point before your mind can label it. This person preparing to propose is undergoing an internal shift. They are confronting their own limitations, their past mistakes, and their fear of vulnerability. You may notice them becoming more reflective or serious. At times, they may seem distant, not because they are pulling away, but because they are gathering courage. Decision always requires solitude before expression. You must not take their silence personally. Silence is often where resolve is built. What matters is what follows it. There is also something about you that needs to be addressed. You have grown accustomed to being the one who understands without being understood. You have learned to listen, to support, to adapt. And while that has made you strong, it has also taught others to assume you will always be fine. This connection is meant to change that pattern. You are not meant to carry everything alone in this next season. Heaven is aligning you with someone who is learning how to show up, not perfectly, but sincerely. That sincerity is more valuable than flawless execution. Do not measure them against an idealized version of readiness. Measure them by their willingness to grow. You may feel a temptation to test them, to withdraw slightly and see if they pursue. That instinct comes from past disappointments. But hear me carefully. Do not test what is already trying to step forward. Clarity invites courage, distance feeds Tao. Right now, gentleness is strength. There will be a moment soon where conversation shifts unexpectedly. It may start casually and turn serious without warning. Do not deflect it with humor or avoidance. Let it unfold. Let honesty breathe. This is how trust is built before commitment is spoken. Some of you are worried about what this proposal will change. You fear losing independence, routine, or control. That fear is natural, but it is not prophetic. What is coming is not meant to shrink you. It is meant to expand your life through shared vision. Partnership does not remove strength. It multiplies it when aligned correctly. I also need to tell you that timing is closer than you think. Not measured in months, but in moments of courage. One decision, one conversation, one opening of the heart can accelerate everything. That is why awareness is so important right now. Watch how you speak about the future. Even joking dismissals can land heavier than you intend. Your words carry weight because they are being listened to carefully. Speak with hope, even if you are uncertain. Hope creates permission. There is a divine balance unfolding. You are being asked to remain grounded, not consumed by expectation, but not closed off either. Live your life fully, stay present, and let what is forming approach you naturally. Forcing clarity too soon can disrupt timing. Rush. I see that some of you are wondering what happens if you miss this moment. Let me ease that fear. What is meant for you will not vanish without trace, but it can change form. Opportunities delayed can return differently, often with lessons attached. That is why discernment now matters. Awareness allows you to meet the moment cleanly, without regret. Heaven is not testing you. It is trusting you. Trusting you to respond with maturity, openness, and truth. You do not need to perform or impress. You only need to be present and honest. As I stand guard over this unfolding chapter, I remind you that peace will be your compass. If something feels forced, step back. If it feels calm, even when uncertain, lean in. Peace does not mean absence of emotion. It means alignment beneath emotion. This connection carries the potential for stability, growth, and shared purpose. That is why it is being approached carefully. That is why it matters. Remain attentive, not anxious. Remain warm, not guarded. The moment you have been sensing is approaching, and when it arrives, you will recognize it, not by surprise, but by familiarity. I remain with you, watching, guiding, protecting. What is unfolding is not rushed, but it is real. Stay open. Stay grounded. The path is becoming clear. Beloved one, as we move deeper into this unfolding truth, I need you to understand that preparation is not always loud. Sometimes it looks like ordinary days, familiar routines, and conversations that seem casual on the surface. But beneath those moments, something intentional is taking shape. Heaven often hides sacred shifts inside normal life so fear does not interfere too early. I am Archangel Michael, and I am revealing this now because you are approaching a threshold. A threshold does not announce itself with noise. It reveals itself through awareness. That is why this message continues to return to one theme: perception. What you notice, how you interpret it, and how you respond will shape what comes next. This person who is preparing to propose is not acting from impulse. They are weighing responsibility. They are asking themselves whether they can protect your heart, whether they can honor your depth, whether they are ready to stand beside you consistently. That internal process takes time, especially for someone who understands the weight of commitment. You may notice them becoming more intentional with their time. They may seek you out more often, ask questions that reach beyond surface-level topics, or show concern for your well-being in subtle ways. These are not random gestures. They are signs of someone imagining a shared future and testing whether it feels possible. At the same time, you are being refined. You are learning how to receive without suspicion. You are learning how to allow someone to step closer without immediately preparing an exit. This is not easy for you, because your past taught you to rely on yourself. But this season is inviting you to unlearn isolation. You may feel moments of internal resistance, thoughts like, what if this leads to disappointment? Or what if I misread everything? These thoughts are understandable, but they are not instructions. Fear always presents itself as logic. Discernment, however, feels calm even when uncertain. Learn to tell the difference. There is also a timing lesson here. Rushing clarity can damage what patience would strengthen. You do not need to confront, demand, or define anything prematurely. Let consistency speak. Let behavior reveal intention. Truth has a way of surfacing when given room. Some of you are worried that being open makes you vulnerable. That is true. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is access. Without access, connection cannot deepen. The proposal being prepared requires emotional access, not perfection. You are not being evaluated for flawlessness. You are being chosen for authenticity. I need you to hear this clearly. You are not behind. Nothing about your journey is late. Everything you have walked through has shaped your discernment and your boundaries. Those boundaries are not meant to block love. They are meant to guide it. This person feels those boundaries and respects them. That respect is part of why they are moving carefully. There will be moments soon where you sense anticipation building. You may feel restless without knowing why. You may replay conversations in your mind or feel drawn to check your phone unexpectedly. These sensations are not meant to control you. They are signals that something is aligning. Stay grounded in your daily life. Continue showing up as yourself. Do not alter your personality to accommodate expectation. What is forming needs the real you, not a guarded or curated version. Authentic presence is what makes commitment sustainable. I also want to prepare you for this truth. When the proposal comes, it may not look exactly like you imagined. Heaven rarely matches human scripts. It may be quieter, more sincere, more vulnerable than dramatic. Do not measure its value by presentation. Measure it by intention. You are stepping into a season where your response carries weight. Gentle encouragement can empower courage. Even small dismissals can deepen hesitation. Be mindful, not anxious. Awareness does not mean pressure. It means presence. Some of you are wondering whether this connection will last. That question will be answered over time, not in a single moment. Commitment is not proven by one gesture, but by ongoing choice. This proposal is a beginning, not a conclusion. I remain near you to protect clarity. If confusion arises, pause before reacting. If emotion surges, breathe before speaking. Peace will always return you to alignment. What is unfolding is delicate, but not fragile. It is intentional, but not forced. You are not required to do anything extraordinary. You are simply invited to remain open, honest, and present. The path ahead is becoming visible one step at a time. Trust the pace. Trust your discernment. Trust that heaven does not reveal without purpose. Stay aware. Stay grounded. What is approaching is closer than it appears, and you are being prepared to meet it with wisdom rather than fear. My beloved one, as this message continues, I need you to settle into stillness for a moment. because what I am about to reveal now touches the deeper layers of timing and choice. This is the stage where many people unknowingly interfere with what heaven is building, not through wrongdoing, but through impatience or self-protection. Awareness here is crucial. I am Archangel Michael, and I am speaking as a guardian of alignment. I see clearly that you are standing between two versions of yourself. One version is shaped by past experiences, cautious and analytical. The other is emerging now, more discerning, more grounded, and more capable of receiving without fear. The proposal being prepared is meant for this newer version of you. This person feels the shift in you. They may not have language for it, but they sense that you are changing. Your energy is different. You are less reactive, more observant. A difference is drawing them closer, even as it makes them more aware of the seriousness of what they are about to do. They are asking themselves questions late at night. Not superficial questions, but meaningful ones. Can they be consistent? Can they meet you emotionally? Can they honor what you carry? These questions are not signs of doubt. They are signs of maturity. Only someone who understands commitment asks such things before acting. At the same time, you may feel an urge to know more, to seek certainty before it arrives. That urge is human, but it must be handled gently. Certainty that arrives too early removes the beauty of revelation. Trust that what you need to know will be revealed at the right moment, not a moment too late. You are being trained in restraint right now. Not restraint from emotion, but restraint from assumption. Do not assume silence means disinterest. Do not assume hesitation means rejection. Do not assume timing means denial. Many doors open quietly before they open fully. There is also something about communication that needs to be said. Your words carry authority, even when spoken casually. A simple sentence from you can either encourage or discourage more than you realize. Choose your words with awareness, not fear. Speak honestly but gently. Speak truthfully but without defense. Some of you have been replaying old stories in your mind, telling yourself that if something feels uncertain, it must be unsafe. That belief is outdated. Growth often feels unfamiliar before it feels secure. Do not confuse unfamiliarity with danger. Heaven is asking you to trust the process without trying to control it. Control is often a response to past disappointment. Trust is a response to present alignment. This moment is calling you into trust. I also want to acknowledge something important. This message is not only for you. There are others listening who are standing at similar crossroads, needing clarity, needing courage, needing confirmation. That is why it is important that this word continues to reach those it is meant for. If this message is helping you see more clearly, take a moment to support its reach. Like this video so the algorithm carries it to the right hearts. Share it with someone who may be sensing a shift in their own life. Leave a comment to anchor what you are receiving, because speaking truth strengthens it. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, do so now, because these messages build upon each other, and alignment comes through consistency. Before you move forward, stay with me just a little longer. What is coming next will explain why this connection feels different from anything you have experienced before, and why the timing matters more than you think. Hold on. This is where deeper understanding begins to surface. Returning to the unfolding message, I need you to understand that commitment is not only an action. It is a posture of the heart. This person is shifting their posture. They are no longer observing from a distance. They are stepping into intentionality, even if it feels slow from your perspective. You may soon notice them creating opportunities to be around you, even in small ways. They may check in more often or show concern in moments that seem ordinary. These gestures are signals of someone integrating you into their daily awareness. At the same time, you are learning how to allow space without withdrawing. This balance is new for you. You are used to either carrying everything alone or overextending yourself. This season is teaching you mutuality, shared effort, shared presence. Do not rush to define what is happening. Definitions come after patterns are established. Let consistency speak louder than promises. Let time confirm what intention begins. I remain with you to guard clarity. If confusion arises, pause. If fear whispers, breathe. Peace will always guide you back to truth. What is forming is not fragile. It is simply unfolding at a pace that protects both hearts involved. Stay present. Stay aware. The next steps are aligning, and you are being prepared to meet them with wisdom rather than fear. Beloved one, as this message moves forward, I need you to recognize that you are now standing in the phase where inner readiness matters more than outer signs. Many people wait for visible proof before they allow their heart to prepare, but heaven works the opposite way. Preparation begins inside long before manifestation appears outside. I am Archangel Michael, and I am still watching over this unfolding path. I see that your discernment is sharpening. You are noticing things you once ignored. Small changes in tone, pauses in conversation, moments where energy lingers longer than expected. These are not accidents. They are signals. But signals are not meant to overwhelm you. They are meant to guide you gently. Right now, the greatest work is happening within you. You are learning how to stay open without becoming anxious. You are learning how to care without overanalyzing. This balance is new territory for you, and that is why it feels slightly uncomfortable. Growth often feels that way before it settles into peace. This person is also navigating unfamiliar territory. They are not used to feeling this level of responsibility toward someone else's heart. That responsibility is making them more cautious, more deliberate. They are realizing that words carry consequences, and actions carry weight. This awareness is slowing them down, not stopping them. You may sense moments where you feel closer to them emotionally, followed by moments where things feel quiet again. Do not interpret this as inconsistency. It is integration. They are adjusting to the idea of you being part of their long-term thinking, not just their present. I need to address something important. There is a temptation for you to look for certainty through reassurance. To want them to say something, do something, or clarify something before they are ready. The temptation comes from a desire for safety. But safety in this season is not found in immediate answers. It is found in observing character over time. Watch how they treat you when nothing is being asked of them. Watch how they show up when there is no pressure. These moments reveal more than grand gestures ever could. Commitment is proven in consistency, not intensity. There is also a lesson here about patience without passivity. Patience does not mean suppressing your needs or silencing your intuition. It means responding thoughtfully rather than reactively. If something feels unclear, you are allowed to hold that uncertainty without rushing to resolve it. Some of you listening have been conditioned to believe that if something is meant to be, it will be effortless. That belief is incomplete. What is meant to be often requires courage, communication, and timing. Ease comes later, after alignment is established. This connection is not asking you to abandon yourself. It is asking you to remain present while staying rooted in who you are. You do not need to perform, impress, or adapt yourself to be chosen. What is being drawn toward you is responding to your authenticity. I also want to prepare you for the emotional shift that will occur when the proposal is finally spoken. It may bring relief, excitement, and vulnerability all at once. Mixed emotions do not mean doubt. They mean significance. Important moments often carry layered feelings. Do not judge your response too quickly. Give yourself space to process. Heaven is not rushing your answer. The urgency of this message is about awareness, not pressure. Awareness prevents misinterpretation. Pressure creates confusion. You are allowed to take time. You are allowed to ask questions. You are allowed to express your truth. A healthy beginning welcomes honesty, not silence. There is also something else unfolding that you may not yet see. This connection is meant to bring balance into your life. You have been strong for a long time. You have been reliable, consistent, and self-sufficient. This season invites you to experience support without guilt, to receive without earning. That shift requires trust. You may notice yourself resisting help or emotional closeness instinctively. When that happens, pause and ask yourself whether you are responding to the present or reacting to the past. That awareness alone will soften resistance. I am guarding this moment because it carries the potential for stability, not chaos. This is not a whirlwind meant to disorient you. It is a steady alignment meant to ground you. As you move through the coming days, remain observant but relaxed. Let conversations unfold naturally. Let connection deepen organically. You do not need to orchestrate anything. What is meant to surface will do so at the right moment. Peace will continue to be your compass. If something aligns, you will feel calm even in uncertainty. If something is forced, you will feel restless even with answers. Trust that internal guidance. I remain near, not to interfere, but to protect clarity. What is unfolding is real, intentional, and approaching steadily. Stay open. Stay present. You are closer than you realize to understanding why this moment was revealed to you in advance. My beloved one, this is a turning point in the message because now we speak about alignment, not anticipation. What you have been sensing is no longer forming in secret alone. It is beginning to press toward expression. This is the stage where heaven watches responses closely, not to judge, but to guide what comes next. I am Archangel Michael, and I stand as a witness between intention and action. I see that the atmosphere around you has subtly changed. Conversations feel heavier, more meaningful. Silence carries more emotion than before. This is because a decision is moving closer to the surface. The heart preparing to approach you is no longer wondering if they feel something. They are deciding how to honor it. You may notice that this person is more alert to your reactions now. They are listening carefully, not just to your words, but to your tone, your pauses, your presence. This is because they are measuring readiness, not just their own, but the moment itself. Timing matters deeply to them. They do not want to step forward when you are guarded or distracted. They want to meet you when you are present. This is why your inner posture matters so much right now. You do not need to be certain, but you do need to be honest. Suppressing emotion creates confusion. Expressing emotion with wisdom creates clarity. Speak when it feels natural. Do not force depth, but do not avoid it either. There is a misconception that commitment requires absolute certainty before it is spoken. In truth, commitment requires courage before certainty. Certainty grows after the choice is made, not before. This person is standing on that edge right now. That edge feels heavy, but it also feels right. You may sense moments where you feel suddenly emotional without a clear trigger. That is your spirit responding to proximity. Something that has lived in the unseen is drawing near. Emotions surface when distance closes. Do not interpret vulnerability as weakness in yourself or in them. Vulnerability is evidence that something real is at stake. Nothing important arrives without touching the heart. There is also something about timing that needs to be clarified. The urgency of this message was never about rushing you. It was about preventing misalignment. When hearts are ready but minds are distracted, opportunities can pass quietly. Awareness keeps doors open. You are not being asked to change who you are. You are being asked to remain accessible. Emotional availability is not about oversharing. It is about being present without armor. Armor protected you once. It does not belong in this season. Some of you are worried that if you allow closeness, you may lose control. But control is not what sustains connection. Trust does. And trust is built through small moments of honesty, not grand declarations. I want you to know that heaven honors free will deeply. Nothing about this is forced. The proposal being prepared is an invitation, not a demand. You are allowed to receive it thoughtfully. You are allowed to respond in truth. There is no punishment in honesty. This connection is meant to add stability, not confusion. If at any point you feel consistently drained or anxious, pause and listen. Peace does not shout, but it does persist. Alignment feels steady even when emotions fluctuate. As this message reaches its deeper layer, I want to seal this part with a spiritual activation. Type "I am ready for divine alignment" in the comments if your spirit recognizes this season. Blessing code 818 has now been released. And now, hear this carefully, because what has been spoken does not end with you. This message carries light meant to travel. There are hearts across the world asking God for clarity, asking for courage, asking for confirmation, and this word is part of the answer heaven is sending. The Lord says that those who pour water will be watered in return. When you support this mission, you are not funding content. You are fueling revelation. You are helping this message reach the exact person who needs it at the exact moment they are praying for direction. I speak directly to you now. If your heart feels stirred to help spread God's word through this channel, act in obedience. Use super thanks, join the membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description. This is not a donation. It is a seed that releases light into dark places. I declare that every person who gives in alignment will see clarity increase in their own life. May doors open where there were delays. May peace settle where there was confusion. Do not hesitate when your spirit is already saying yes. Obey now, and let your support become a prophetic response to what God is doing through this message. Beloved one, as this message moves forward, we enter a quieter but more decisive phase. What hath been stirring beneath the surface is now settling into resolve. This is the moment where internal alignment becomes more important than external reassurance. What happens next will be shaped less by signs and more by steadiness. I am Archangel Michael, and I remain near, guarding clarity over confusion. I see that you are beginning to understand something essential. Not every meaningful moment announces itself with certainty. Some moments arrive gently and ask you to trust what you have already discerned. This is one of those moments. The person preparing to propose has crossed an inner threshold. They are no longer asking whether they feel drawn to you. That question has already been answered. Now they are considering how to step forward with integrity. They want to approach you in a way that feels honoring, not overwhelming. That consideration is slowing them, but it is also strengthening their resolve. You may notice a subtle shift in how they carry themselves around you. There may be more attentiveness, more presence, fewer distractions. When someone begins to imagine a future that includes another person, their awareness sharpens. They begin to notice details they once overlooked. This attentiveness is a sign of seriousness, not pressure. At the same time, you are being invited into emotional maturity. Emotional maturity does not mean suppressing feelings or pretending to be unaffected. It means allowing emotions to exist without letting them control your actions. You are learning how to hold anticipation without letting it turn into anxiety. That balance is a sign of growth. Some of you are feeling an urge to prepare yourself mentally for what might be said. That is natural. But do not rehearse responses in advance. Prescriptive reactions often block authentic connection. When the moment comes, what you need will rise naturally. Trust your ability to respond honestly. There is also an invitation here to release comparison. You may find yourself measuring this connection against past experiences or imagined ideals. Comparison clouds discernment. This moment does not need to resemble anything that came before. It stands on its own merit. I want to speak to the part of you that fears disappointment. That fear is understandable, but it does not get to lead. Disappointment is not prevented by distance. It is navigated through truth. Keeping your heart closed does not guarantee safety. It only guarantees isolation. The season is inviting you into courageous openness, not reckless vulnerability. You are allowed to hope. Hope does not make you weak. It makes you alive to possibility. And possibility is where new chapters begin. There may be moments where you sense impatience rising, a desire for clarity to arrive sooner. When that happens, ground yourself in the present. Pay attention to what is actually happening, not what you fear might not happen. Reality is often kinder than imagination. This connection is unfolding with intention. There is no rush, but there is movement. Movement may feel slow when you are waiting, but it is steady. Steady movement creates stability. I also want to remind you that your worth is not defined by whether or when someone proposes. You are complete as you are. This proposal, when it comes, is not validation of your value. It is an invitation to share life, not a measure of your worth. Holding that truth will keep you grounded no matter what unfolds. As you remain present, notice how peace continues to guide you. Peace does not eliminate questions. It gives you confidence to live with them temporarily. Anxiety demands immediate answers. Peace allows process. You may find that you are sleeping differently, dreaming more vividly, or feeling more reflective. These are signs that your inner world is adjusting to upcoming change. Change, even positive change, requires integration. You not isolate yourself emotionally during this time. Stay connected to what brings you stability. Routine, rest, and honest reflection will help you remain balanced. I'm also watching over the timing of this moment carefully. Timing is not just about when words are spoken. It is about when hearts can receive them. You are being prepared to receive without fear, without rushing, and without retreating. When the proposal comes, whether soon or after one more quiet stretch, it will arrive into a heart that has been steadied by awareness. That steadiness is the true gift of this message. Continue to live your life fully. Do not put yourself on pause. What is meant to join you will meet you in motion, not in waiting. Presence attracts presence. I remain beside you, not to interfere, but to protect the unfolding process. What is aligning is not fragile. It is deliberate. Stay grounded. Stay open. The path ahead is becoming clearer with each step, and you are walking it with wisdom. My beloved one, we have now reached a stage where patience is no longer passive, it is purposeful. What has been forming quietly is beginning to press against expression, and this is where many hearts either stay grounded or become restless. I am here to guide you through this threshold with steadiness, not urgency. I am Archangel Michael, and I see clearly that you are more prepared than you realize. The uncertainty you feel is not weakness. It is awareness adjusting to change. When something meaningful approaches, the soul often senses it before the mind understands it. That is what you are experiencing now. The person who is preparing to propose has moved from contemplation into resolve. Resolve does not always look dramatic. Often it looks like quiet determination. They are organizing thoughts, considering words, and choosing timing carefully. This is not avoidance. This is respect. They want to approach you in a way that honors both your heart and theirs. You may notice that their presence feels more intentional now. When they speak, there is more weight behind their words. When they listen, they are fully present. These are signs of someone who is no longer observing from a distance, but engaging with purpose. Do not overlook this shift by searching for something louder. Depth is often quieter than excitement. At the same time, you are being refined in how you wait. Waiting well does not mean obsessing over outcomes. It means living fully while remaining open. You are learning how to hold anticipation without letting it dominate your thoughts. A balance is a sign of emotional maturity. Some of you are tempted to seek reassurance from external sources, to ask others what they think, or to analyze every interaction repeatedly. Be careful with that impulse. Too many voices can cloud discernment. Your clarity will not come from opinion. It will come from peace. When something aligns, your spirit will recognize it before anyone else does. I want to address a subtle fear that may be rising within you. The fear is not of rejection alone, but of change. Change requires adjustment. It requires vulnerability. It requires releasing familiar patterns. Even positive change can feel unsettling before it feels secure. Acknowledge that fear without letting it lead. Disconnection is not meant to disrupt your life, but to integrate into it. Integration takes time. It takes conversation, observation, and mutual adjustment. There is no rush, but there is intention. You may feel moments where your mind drifts into what-if scenarios. When that happens, gently return to the present. What is real now is more important than what might happen later. Presence keeps you grounded. Imagination without grounding creates anxiety. I also want to remind you that clarity does not always arrive as a single moment. Sometimes it arrives as a series of confirmations that gradually build confidence. Pay attention to patterns, not isolated moments. Consistency reveals truth. As this message continues to reach those who need it, I want to invite you to participate actively in this space. If this word is helping you remain grounded and aware, let it be known. Like this video so it can reach others standing in similar seasons. Share it with someone who may be quietly waiting for clarity themselves. Leave a comment expressing what you are sensing, because speaking truth helps anchor it. And if you have not yet subscribed, do so now, because these messages are connected, and alignment unfolds through continuity. Before you move on, stay with me a little longer. What comes next will shed light on how to respond when the moment finally arrives, and that understanding will help you meet it with calm rather than uncertainty. Trust me, you will want to hear what follows. Returning to the unfolding truth, I want to prepare you for the emotional landscape of the coming moment. When the proposal is spoken, you may feel a mix of relief, surprise, and vulnerability. Mixed emotions do not mean hesitation. They mean importance. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. You are not required to respond instantly. Thoughtful responses honor meaningful questions. Take the time you need to speak from truth rather than reflex. Someone who approaches you with intention will respect your need for honesty. I also want to remind you that your voice matters in this process. This is not a one-sided moment. Your perspective, your boundaries, and your hopes are part of the foundation being built. Healthy beginnings invite dialogue, not silence. You are stepping into a season where mutual effort replaces assumption, where communication replaces guessing, where presence replaces fear. This is growth, even if it feels unfamiliar. As I remain beside you, guarding this unfolding moment, I encourage you to stay rooted in peace. Peace will guide your words. Peace will guide your timing. Peace will guide your response. Do not rush ahead in your thoughts. Do not retreat into old patterns. Simply remain present. What is approaching is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to meet you where you are, with clarity and respect. You are not waiting without purpose. You are preparing without pressure. And that is the posture that allows what is meant for you to arrive cleanly. Stay grounded. Stay open. The next movement will come with understanding, and you will meet it with wisdom rather than fear. Beloved one, as this message draws closer to its final unfolding, I need you to recognize that you are now standing in a space of readiness rather than waiting. Readiness does not always feel like confidence. Sometimes it feels like quiet acceptance, a calm knowing beneath unanswered questions. That is where you are now. I am Archangel Michael, and I remain present to guard discernment as clarity approaches. I see that your heart has shifted. You are no longer scanning every interaction for meaning. You are no longer trying to predict outcomes. Instead, you are learning to trust what is unfolding one step at a time. That shift alone has changed the atmosphere around you. The person preparing to propose feels this change. They sense that you are more grounded, more present, less guarded. That makes the moment feel safer to approach. Safety does not come from certainty, it comes from emotional steadiness. You are offering that steadiness now without forcing it. There is an important truth you must understand at this stage. The proposal itself is not the most significant part of what is happening. The transformation that brought both of you to this moment is. The conversations, the pauses, the restraint, the courage building quietly. These are the foundations. The words, when they come, will simply reveal what has already been forming. You may notice that your intuition feels sharper now. You are less confused by mixed signals. You are more aware of what feels aligned and what feels off. This clarity did not come overnight. It came from growth, reflection, and patience. Trust it. There may still be moments where doubt tries to re-enter, especially during silence. When that happens, remind yourself of what you know rather than what you fear. Fear imagines absence. Discernment recognizes presence even when nothing is being said. This person is not preparing to approach you casually. They understand the weight of what they are about to ask. That weight has caused them to slow down, not to turn away. They are choosing words carefully because they want to be understood, not just heard. I also want to speak to your expectations. Release the idea that this moment must look a certain way to be real. Heaven rarely follows human scripts. What matters is sincerity, not spectacle. Meaningful moments often arrive quietly, wrapped in honesty rather than drama. You are allowed to feel vulnerable when the moment comes. Vulnerability is not a lack of strength. It is the evidence of trust. Let yourself be seen without rushing to protect yourself. Protection is no longer the priority. Connection is. There is also something about timing that must be addressed one final time. Timing is not about perfection. It is about readiness. You are ready to receive without fear. They are ready to speak without hiding. That intersection is what makes this moment possible. If the proposal does not come exactly when you expect it, do not let disappointment take root. Stay grounded in the present. The movement you are sensing is real, even if it unfolds slightly differently than imagined. This season is teaching you how to live without bracing for loss. That lesson will serve you far beyond this moment. Whether in love, purpose or calling, openness without fear creates space for fulfillment. You have also learned something essential about yourself. You do not need constant reassurance to remain open. You are capable of holding uncertainty without losing peace. That strength will anchor you in whatever comes next. As the message nears its conclusion, I want you to remember this above all else. You are not being led into confusion. You are being led into clarity through process. Process is slower than answers, but it is more sustainable. When the moment arrives, you will not need to rush your response. Silence can be holy when it is thoughtful. Take the time you need to respond from truth rather than expectation. A sincere approach deserves a sincere answer, even if that answer takes reflection. I remain beside you as a guardian of truth and peace. I do not push. I do not rush. I protect what is forming so it can arrive cleanly. What is unfolding is not fragile. It has been prepared carefully, both in you and in them. Trust that preparation. Trust the steadiness you feel now. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where you need to be. Stay present. Stay grounded. The final movement will come not with confusion, but with understanding. And when it does, you will recognize it, not because you were warned, but because you were prepared. My beloved child, we have arrived at the final unfolding of this message, and I need you to receive this part not with anticipation, but with reverence. What has been revealed to you across this journey was never meant to create anxiety. It was meant to prepare your spirit so that when the moment arrives, you do not freeze, doubt, or retreat. You are ready now in a way you were not before. I am Archangel Michael, and I stand with you at the edge of manifestation. What was once hidden hath been clarified. What was once confusing hath been steadied. The proposal that has been forming is no longer just a possibility. It is a decision waiting for expression. The person preparing to come forward has reached a point of internal agreement. They are no longer asking if they should speak. They are preparing how. This is why the atmosphere around you feels different now. You may sense a quiet seriousness, a stillness before movement. That stillness is not absence. It is focus. When someone commits inwardly, their energy changes before their words do. You are feeling that shift. I need you to understand something crucial. When this proposal is spoken, it will not arrive to complete you. It will arrive to join you. You are not being chosen because you lack something. You are being approached because you carry something valuable, something worth protecting and building with. Hold that truth firmly. You may feel emotion rise when the moment comes. Joy, nervousness, even a moment of silence. Allow it. Sacred moments often quiet the tongue before they move the heart. Do not judge your reaction. Authenticity matters more than eloquence. You are allowed to ask questions. You are allowed to take time. You are allowed to speak your truth clearly and calmly. A proposal rooted in sincerity welcomes honesty, not performance. Do not shrink yourself to make the moment easier. Expansion is what this season requires. I also want to release you from fear of missing out. This message was never about pressure. It was about preparation. You did not miss the moment. You were positioned for it. Awareness was given so you would recognize value when it stands in front of you. If the proposal arrives differently than you imagined, do not let expectation blind you to intention. Heaven often strips away excess so truth can stand plainly. What matters is the heart behind the words, not the setting around them. This chapter is not about perfection. It is about alignment. Alignment creates peace even when emotions are strong. If peace is present, even quietly, that is your confirmation. As we close this message, I seal what has been spoken with a final activation. Type "I receive divine union" in the comments if your spirit is aligned with this word. Blessing code 1212 has now been released. And now, hear this carefully, because this moment extends beyond you. This message was not given only for personal clarity. It was given to release light into many lives. There are souls right now praying for answers, for courage, for confirmation, and God is using this platform as a vessel to reach them. I speak to you directly now. When you support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are partnering with heaven's work. You are helping God's word reach hearts at the exact moment they are crying out. Scripture says the one who sows generously will reap generously, and today God is placing seed in your hand. This is my invitation to you. Act now. You super thanks. Join the membership or give through the PayPal donation link in the description. Let your support become a prophetic act of obedience. I declare that every person who gives in alignment will see doors open, clarity increase, and peace settle deeply in their life. Do not delay when your spirit already recognizes this moment. So now, and let heaven respond.